A very good Monday evening to you. Meteorologist Todd Howell here in the Channel 10 Streaming Center. Want to bring you just kind of a early in the week heads up for potential storms heading our way by midweek. And we'll kind of just go through the next several days. Oh, by the way, it's March. And with that, first graphic, our high temperature trend. March, typically the winds blow and it's typically a roller coaster, the up and down pattern. Now, we've enjoyed some very warm, early spring-like weather, haven't we? I mean, this Monday was terrific. And we'll look back and then look ahead as well in just a moment. But let's talk about those high temperatures. First of all, just the temperature trend. Look at this, mid-70s tomorrow for Tuesday, another warm day. Near record highs for your Wednesday, 81. The record high is 81, set 20 years ago back in 2006. So that's on the board, another potential tying record high for Wednesday. Look at how the temperatures drop off dramatically, going from 81 Wednesday to 55 for a high temperature with a breezy wind on Thursday. Now, look at our average high. 59 degrees. Let me take it full, as you can see that. Yeah, our average high is 59, and so this is simply going to be closer to average as we go from with this strong cold front moving through Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So it is going to feel a whole lot cooler with 50s on Thursday, mid-60s for your Friday, back above average. Oh boy, look at that for the weekend. Yeah, the trend for the weekend warming right back up, and the weekend's looking really nice with some sunshine and pleasant weather. So we'll get to that in your 7-day in a moment. First of all, again, just walking through the particulars, 75 are high today. That's a good bit above the average high of 59 for this time of year. So if you're heading out about this evening, just wanted to let you know it looks like a nice warm night. We are tracking, or we're not tracking, but we are monitoring some thunderstorms, keep an eye on them as always, to our south that are heading toward Chattanooga. Now, a few of these will try to slip up the valley, parts of the plateau later this evening. So we may see a stray shower or two in the southern half of East Tennessee. But otherwise, most areas just seeing some clouds increasing. We're seeing that now. And we're in the 70s to 60s, 67 to 10 p.m. A fairly warm night will continue. Okay, so here's the main weather headlines, and we'll get more to the specifics of what we're expecting the next couple of days in just a second. Scattered showers, isolated thunderstorm is possible tomorrow morning. Now, this is just a general disturbance and more of the ordinary variety of some spring-like showers, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder or two in the morning. Nothing too organized or too strong for your Tuesday morning. The rest of Tuesday afternoon, we're dry. Near record highs Wednesdays, we talked about possibility of some of those strong to severe storms coming our way then later Wednesday night. And this is what I'll talk more about in just a moment. So Wednesday night, overnight to Thursday morning, we have the potential two main impacts, primarily damage and wind gust, and also heavy rainfall. But this is kind of a typical strong springtime cold front that's going to be moving our way. And when I say typical, most of the time, if we see a chance for severe storms, severe weather in East Tennessee, it's usually damage and wind gust. Now, isolated tornado possible, but not likely. I'll show you the potential impacts. Just want to let you know it's more of your typical cold front with potential for some damage and wind gusts and some heavy rainfall. That's late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So we'll take a look at that timeline for you coming up. And that's why I want to just give you an early heads up, and we'll keep you updated throughout the next couple of days getting closer. Much cooler Thursday now before warm weather returns this weekend. So let's take a moment now and walk through. Again, this is kind of the recap, but we will have a weather impact alert, red panels for second half of Wednesday into the first half of Thursday. As far as Thursday, it's mainly just for the early morning commute with some leftover heavier showers. Main impacts, potential strong to severe storms could come our way late Wednesday evening and the early portion of Wednesday night. And then it's heavy rainfall Thursday morning. The rest of Thursday is going to be drying out. You saw the temperature plunge from 81 Wednesday to 55 Thursday. And again, we're back in the mid-70s for tomorrow. So here's what we're looking at. Again, here's the timeline. Let me take it full so you can see that in better detail. From 8 p.m. through about 4 a.m. Thursday, that's a look at generally an 8-hour window of when we're seeing the potential for some of these strong, maybe severe storms possible. Again, the two main impacts are the potential for damage and wind gust and heavy rainfall. So that's the two main impacts we're expected. What do you need to do? Have ways to receive alerts, and certainly check back for updates as we move closer. We'll keep you updated. So again, weather impact alert for Wednesday night into early Thursday morning specifically, and that's when we could see some impactful storms. Here are the impacts. Main impact, winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. That's your damage and wind gust, kind of the straight line winds. Severe winds are anything 58 miles per hour or greater. quarter-size hail or larger, and of course, if you have a tornado, that makes it severe. But that's what makes a storm severe. Rounded up to every 5 miles per hour. So 60-mile-per-hour winds or higher possible. Localized flooding, some heavier downpours. Again, we're behind in rain again, so some of that could be beneficial. Again, an isolated tornado possible, but not likely. Notice the scale here. Again, you see the two main impacts, generally the heavy rain and the gusty winds. A quarter-size hail is possible, but that potential impact is fairly low. So that's pretty much the gist of what we're expecting as we go Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Here are the overall severe risk. This is from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. And here's the widespread risk. And again, this is looking ahead to what we're seeing for Wednesday. And zooming on in, you can kind of see the western half of East Tennessee. Generally for the plateau up into Kentucky, this is a little bit higher risk, a level 2 out of 5, what we call a slight or elevated risk. Green is the lowest level, marginal, and usually you just see some isolated severe storms possible. When you get into a level 2, it's a little bit better chance. But so we're seeing this line that will probably weaken slightly as it moves through late Wednesday night. But before it weakens some, there could be some damage and wind gust. That's kind of the main story of what we're looking at there. So here's a look at this cluster of thunderstorms. This is right now. They're getting this rocking and rolling in northern Alabama. That's moving toward Chattanooga. This is mainly going to be in northern Alabama and North Georgia, into far southeast Tennessee, and one of our high-res models particularly kind of spins up a little bit of a stray shower, spotty shower or two up the valley. I say spins up, just allows a stray shower, isolated thunder shower to slip up the valley and kind of spinning off this main batch. But other than that, again, this is what one of our high-res models show. You can see it's mainly down toward Chattanooga. If you're watching us in Decatur, Big Springs, lower portions, Dayton and southern Ray County, southern Meigs County, maybe Athens, McMinn County, and maybe as far as southern Monroe County. You can get in on a little bit of this leftover shower activity, if you will. That's kind of swinging through late tonight. Here's our Tuesday morning. Again, otherwise we're warm tonight with clouds. Tuesday morning, scattered thunder showers possible. Tuesday afternoon, expected to dry back out in the mid-70s for tomorrow. And here's a look at the bigger picture. Again, we've got the warm air around the region right now. There's that cluster of thunderstorms that mainly dives to our south. And I just wanted to show you the severe risk tonight is to our south. And coming out of Arkansas, where they've already seen it, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and then that risk will taper off later on tonight. That's a complex of storms, though, just going to try to make it maybe all the way to Charleston in South Carolina. Now, the severe risk for tomorrow, as far as our Tuesday, it's well to our north and west. So we're mainly looking at chance for scattered showers tomorrow morning, maybe an isolated thunder shower. Other than that, again, no severe threat generally tomorrow. Now, there's back to our Wednesday, and that's what we're looking at as far as Wednesday night. Most of Wednesday during the day is dry, but Wednesday night have a chance for showers and storms. That's how it plays out. They're stopping at 10 p.m. Wednesday. Line of potentially some stronger storms, heavy rainfall. And again, let me take it full so you can see it, but this is this potential leading edge of when we're seeing maybe some damage and wind gusts. I tell you, what I'm looking at is there's a low pressure wave that's going to be along the front that's moving out of the lower Mississippi Valley. More than likely, we'll have to wait and see. That's probably going to focus some of the stronger storms just to our southwest in Alabama, Middle Tennessee, and maybe the plateau or southern plateau and across the southern half of East Tennessee, generally speaking. That's what this is our high-res model. That's also what it's hinting at right now. And so let me kind of just play that forward, rock it back a little bit. So there's 8 p.m., could be on the plateau. We have that 8 p.m. Wednesday to 4 a.m. Thursday. That's your timeline. Again, there's 10 p.m. Allow me just kind of scooch forward. That's 11 p.m. to midnight. Again, there's that leading edge could have some damage and wind gusts along it, but then just some heavy rainfall that settles in for the rest of. Matter of fact, anytime after midnight, Wednesday night, it's pretty much just heavy rain. So the leading edge could have some potential damage and wind gust, and then the rest of the way, it's just looking at some heavier rain. Now that played through really fast. There's some different intricate details going on. It's a cold front, and so it's still officially winter. We're going to be much cooler for Thursday. So as this is playing through very fast, it doesn't show it as much on this wide view, but you may see there's a little bit of a stripe of some wintry weather that can briefly touch the mountains and say hello to the Smokies briefly. Otherwise, I'll let this play on through the rest of the way. Clearing skies Thursday, much cooler with temperatures expected to be in the 50s. So with that, Here's your forecast tonight. Again, the clouds are on the increase, maybe a few stray showers to Southern Valley. Near 60 for the low tonight, so fairly warm. Those scattered showers in the morning, maybe an isolated thunder shower, but then some sunshine in the afternoon, and we're back in the mid-70s. So with that, here's your 7-day forecast. And again, I'll take it full for you. We do have that weather impact alert for later Wednesday night, the red panel on the right-hand side, into early Thursday morning, red panel on the left-hand side of Thursday. So Wednesday night, Thursday morning, some impactful storms, heavy rain possible, but then it clears out Thursday. Look at the weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good timing. It clears out. Look at the temperatures. I mean, this is for the weekend. Thankfully, we did not have many great weekends for much of this year, except for the past few weekends. It's been a little bit better. But yeah, this weekend is looking very pleasant. Sunshine back in the 70s for your Saturday. Spring breakers, by the way, this week for teachers and school kids. I'm sure you're enjoying it. Moms, dads, parents, perhaps enjoying this week of weather. Again, after a little bit of that dip and that roller coaster, it does warm back up this weekend. Now, hello next Monday. Temperatures are expected to be in the upper 40s and falling, and Tuesday may also see highs in the 40s. So let me leave you with this jet stream. Just wanted to show you that it's still officially winter, and it looks like it's going to be feeling like it. So next week could be a different story compared to this week. Here's the recap. Here comes this dip in the jet stream. This is the midweek storm that moves on through, and then we get a decent rebound in temperatures this weekend. Look at this deep upper level trough that's coming in. This is by Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day. I believe it is early next week. So much colder air on the table for early next week. All right, that's a quick preview, just kind of a heads up stream and live stream this Monday evening. We'll be following it closely and as always, and do the best we can to keep you updated throughout the next couple of days. So thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your night.